PhD students to become familiar with the following common statistical tests in SPSS. Descriptive statistics. These tests provide an overview of the data, including measures of central tendency, such as mean and median, and measures of variability, such as standard deviation and range. Descriptive statistics are an important aspect of quantitative research, as they provide a summary of the data collected. Measures of central tendency, such as the mean and median, give an indication of the average or typical value of a variable, while measures of variability, such as the standard deviation and range, provide information about the spread of the data around the central tendency. These statistics are useful in identifying patterns or trends in the data and in providing a baseline for further analysis. For example, comparing the mean of a variable across different groups can reveal differences or similarities in the characteristics of those groups. Descriptive statistics can also help to identify outliers or unusual observations that may need further investigation. Descriptive statistics are a set of tools used in quantitative research to describe and summarize data. They provide a clear overview of the data, which is helpful in understanding the distribution of values and the general patterns in the dataset. Measures of central tendency, such as mean and median, indicate the average value of the data and the point around which the data tends to cluster. Measures of variability, such as standard deviation and range, indicate the spread of the data and how much the data points vary from the mean. Descriptive statistics help researchers understand the basic characteristics of their data and provide a foundation for further statistical analyses. They also allow for easy comparison between different groups or variables in the dataset. T-tests. Used to compare means between two groups, t-tests can be used for both independent samples, when the groups are different, and dependent samples, when the groups are matched. T-tests are a common statistical method used in quantitative research to compare the means of two groups. In a study, researchers may be interested in comparing two groups, such as a treatment group and a control group, to determine if there is a significant difference between their mean scores on a particular variable. T-tests can be used for both independent samples, where the two groups are different, and dependent samples, where the two groups are matched or paired in some way, such as pre-test and post-test measurements. T-tests provide a p-value that indicates the probability of observing the observed difference between the means by chance alone, assuming there is no real difference between the groups. If the p-value is below a predetermined level of significance, typically 0.05, then the difference between the groups is considered statistically significant. T-tests are commonly used in quantitative research to compare means between two groups. They are useful when the researcher wants to determine whether there is a significant difference in the means of two groups on a particular variable of interest. T-tests can be used for both independent samples, where the two groups being compared are different, and dependent samples, where the two groups are matched, such as in a pre-test and post-test design. The t-test provides a statistical value, known as the t-statistic, which is used to determine whether the difference between the means of the two groups is statistically significant. A significant t-test result indicates that the difference in means is unlikely to have occurred by chance and may be due to the independent variable being studied.